What's this? Is this a draft? Why yes. Yes, it is. Hello, this is Redithin, and welcome to some more Draftly content, finally back on this channel. Sorry if you're expecting a live. Showdown is coming back soon. I'm sorry, I just had a lot to deal with this week that I'd rather not talk about. But yeah, I just wasn't really in the mood to record, personal issues and all that. But so we're back here with NPL Minors Tournament. Basically, to get in the NPL Minors, you got to fill out an application. And then you got to do the second part, which is like a tournament. So I'm in the tournament, and I already did my first 3 pool matches. So they're gonna do them here. I'm gonna do 3 videos of this, of course. So I don't know how I'm gonna upload them. I'm not gonna upload like 3 days in a row. We're gonna upload like all on the same day or whatever. But I'll figure it out. But yeah, so so Showdown's not going away. Don't worry. It might take a bit of a hiatus as I'm trying to adjust to new stuff, but it's not leaving. I can guarantee that. And I also have I don't have like a fancy layout for this either. Sorry, because I have the TBU draft analysis coming up very soon, as well as the GPC draft analysis in the near future as well. So I don't. It's just a lot to work on. So yeah, sorry, I don't have a layout for this one, but my team's right here. You can see it. So yeah. So I decided to do a team based around Mega Diancie. It was Rufus's idea. He was like, hey dude, you should use Mega Diancie. It's really cool this gen. It's like, okay. So I drafted Mega Diancie. And then so Mega Diancie, in case you didn't know, I mean, I don't know how you wouldn't know by now, but Megas, this gen, gain the speed boost the first turn the Mega evolves, so Mega Diancie no longer has to run like Protect or anything to get the speed boost, so it essentially gained an extra move slot this gen, and that's really, really cool. So yeah, it was already a monster as it is, but now it's even more of a monster. So to go with that, I picked up Excadrill, and I know you're seeing the rest of my team and you're like, Excadrill, no, Sand, what you doing? And you're right, it's not the best. I probably shouldn't have done that, but basically this gets rid of hazards because there aren't many. Because with only 8 draft slots, you're gonna want a good hazard remover, and a reliable rocker at that. So yeah, Excadrill is kind of both of those. Even if it's better, much better in like a sand offense role, but you know, with Excadrill, it can be run decently bulky, and it's a nice steel type, so it's just kind of nice to have. So I liked it for my team. Next we have Rotom-Wash, and this takes a lot of the like hits, such as like fire hits and ground moves and everything that Excadrill hates, and can also, and like we know the deal with Rotom-Wash. It's a pivot, so it can pivot around between Mega Diancie and like my other mons. So it's a good little guy. Next up we have Buzzwole, and Buzzwole is absolute monster as well. If the 4 times flying weakness often deters people from getting this thing, I feel, but I mean it's so bulky on the physical side and hits so hard that it really doesn't even like matter, because this thing will just tank aerial aces like it's nothing. So yeah, I don't know, I just liked how it fit with my team. That's pretty much my entire team. It's just like I liked how it fit. I didn't really have like a plan going in. I just kind of like drafted what seemed good. I also made this one of my Z-Mons. In this tournament, you had to designate 2 Mons to be your Z-Move Mons. So I chose Buzzwole and Rose Raid down here. So I really wanted to use Buzzwole with this because Superpower is like its best stab, other than Focus Punch, of course. But of course, Superpower you get the drop after using it once. So with All Out Pummeling, you don't get the drop. So yeah, it's pretty nice for that, especially if you're trying to sweep and you want to take advantage of Beast Boost. Next up, we have Alolan Marowak, and I just liked this because it's another rocker, so Excadrill don't have to rely on Excadrill for that, and it's a good fire type, and it's a spin blocker at that. So it's just nice because I have some spike stacking down here below for that. Arcanine would probably have been better for my team, again, like in retrospect, but what you gonna do? Next we have Sneasel, and this is Pursuit Trapper because a lot of like bulky psychics and such love don't I don't really have much for that, especially with Buzzwole here. I kind of want, I guess Buzzwole has Leech Life, but at the same time, like, there's a lot of Psychic types that just give this thing trouble, such as, like, the Lottie Twins and that can come in and, like, revenge it. So, Sneasel pretty much takes care of those. And it's also really fast and an Ice type, and Ice types are always nice. Next up we have Roserade. And Roserade is here to tank special hits a bit better, and it's also, I don't know, I just like having a Grass type on this team, as well as Spikes, like I said, because Mega Diancie with Spike stacks is really nice, because a lot of things can't take like rocks plus like 2 layers of Spikes and like 2 Moon Blaster Power Gems or Diamond Storms or whatever, so Spikes is really nice to that, and Roserade's just all around a pretty cool dude. And finally we have Scolipede. And Scolipede is mainly here for Buzzwole and Excadrill, because it can pass some speed boosts and even Mega Diancie, and they can just destroy everything. So yeah, sorry that wasn't really that good of an analysis. It's kind of late, and I don't really have much of a plan with this draft anyway. So yeah, so let's get right into the first battle. Okay, actually I lied. I'm actually getting into the team builder here. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. So the first battle was up against Beige, who's actually he actually battled in the GPC World Championships, if you remember that. So it's all coming full circle here. Hold on, I'm pulling the team up on my phone real quick so I can talk about this a bit better. This battle was a while ago. I mean, I recorded this directly after I had that battle, because I totally am on top of this. Anyway, so yeah, Mega Diancie is pretty much going to be my thing to bring to like every battle. And this guy's got Calm Mind, Moonblast, Power Gem, and Earth Power. And basically, the deal with this thing is that basically with his team, he really had nothing that really appreciated like these 3 moves, other than Porygon 2. So, and Porygon 2 was already like a big pain in the ass anyway. So I was like, you know what, it can't status me because of what's it called? Because of Magic Bounce. So I can just pretty much set up on that thing's face and then just sweep pretty much, because literally the only thing that he could have to outspeed this thing is Dugtrio, and the plan was to kind of be able to pass a speed boost into this thing and do stuff there. And I also had Sneasel as well, which is Focus Sash. Actually, this thing didn't have Pursuit, never mind. I was going to talk about how I was going to Pursuit Trap the Dugtrio, but that wasn't the play. I had to play, and I don't know. This is a while ago. Sorry. So yeah, that was the deal with Diancie. Now we're going to talk about Sneasel. And this was kind of my my backup plan in case Megazord got out of hand, or even Metagross as well, because Metagross also puts a number on this team. So pretty much as long as I could make sure I keep rocks down, which really his only rockers were Metagross and Dugtrio. So I wasn't really afraid of rocks too much to begin with. A lot of teams actually don't have like reliable hazard setters, so. Sneasel, pretty much come in there, click counter, and either destroy the Metagross or the Megazord. And, so yeah, it was pretty much an insurance policy. We also had Ice Shard to pick off Dugtrio and like other stuff. Knockoff, because that would neuter the Porygon 2, and it also keep Metagross from completely walling this thing in case it like tries to switch in or something, which I don't know why I would, but you never know. And then Icicle Crash, because it beats the Sarina and also the Togekiss, and yeah, so that's my deal with Sneasel. Next up we have Rotom-Wash, and this thing is Hydro Pump, Volt Switch, Reflected, Pain Split. I decided to put Reflect over Will-O-Wisp just because of Megazord, because as long as it's not Roost Megazord, this thing 1v1s it easily. However, if I put Will-O-Wisp on there and I have nothing to deal with Rotom's defense, it can set up if I try to switch in on it, and then pretty much destroy me with like a couple Dragon Claws. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I prepped this team. I know with the Calyx. I swear. Yeah. Overall, Rotom is great against this team anyway, because it can switch in on Togekiss, and Dugtrio, and Metagross, and overall a great pivot, because his physical attackers can't really touch it that much. Next up we have Buzzwole, and this is fully offensive with the Titanium Z, and this was made to completely take advantage of the speed boost from Scolipede. This is just pretty much coverage to hit his entire team, basically. And yeah, next up we have Scolipede, Protect, Sub, Earthquake, Baton Pass. I decided to put Earthquake, so in case Megazard becomes an issue. So Megazard actually like really put a number on my team. I was terrified of that thing, so Scolipede's there for that. I didn't really know when I would have a chance to set up the sub other than on Serena, so I was kind of banking on him bringing Serena because that was his only way to get rid of hazards, and he has a Charizard, so yeah, there's to deal with that. And then finally, we have Shukaberry Excadrill. The Shukaberry, so in case Doug Trio comes in, I preferred it over the Shed Shell just because with the Shed Shell I can't really like take it out with Excadrill. I can only pretty much switch. With the Shukaberry, it'll catch him by surprise, and I can take him out with like an Earthquake or Iron Head. Then we have Stealth Rock and Rapid Spin because that's kind of mandatory. All right, so that was a mouthful. Let's go right into the battle here. Sorry, my commentary is a bit dry. I'm kind of. Of course, I haven't recorded in a while, so I'm kind of. Hold on, let me do this real quick. All right, let me reset now. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm kind of getting back into the field for not only recording but recording league content in general because I haven't done that in a while. So yeah. So first play of the game, he led off with Charizard. I lead off with Rotom-Wash. I decided to lead off with decided to lead off with Rotom because I felt there was really no reason to not. Because I figured he would. I figured he might lead with. Well, if he leads with the Doug Trio, then that's just bad news for Diancie. So Diancie, I couldn't lead Diancie. So I was just decided, you know what? He's already going to lead with the Charizard. Basically, the only bad lead with Rotom is if he leads with Serena, and even then, it outspeeds anyway. I can Volt Switch out. So I thought there was like really no reason not to go with Rotom. So I'm just gonna click that Volt Switch button. I figured no, I clicked the Reflect button, and now I Volt Switch. Yeah, I knew Serena was coming in. I wanted to get the Reflect up just in case I needed it later. So, and it actually turned out to help me a lot here, as this Serena turns out to be Acrobatics. But with the Reflect and the fact that it doesn't have the boost because it's holding an item, Acrobatics actually does like literally nothing. So yeah, so I get the free sub up here, and I decide to actually Baton Pass here instead of Protect because I figured he was gonna Acrobatics there just because either I stay in and protect, attack, or attack pretty much. And I figured if I protected, he would predict the Diancie after that. So I was like, you know what, let's just go into Diancie now. So yeah, perhaps the better play would have been Buzzwole because realistically, he had nothing to deal with Buzzwole after it gets like the Beast Boost, especially because I have the Titanium. So Metagross is not like exactly a switch in either, but. Whatever. It's me. We're gonna make a rusty bad plays. So yeah. So I get the Mega off, and I decided to go for the Moonblast just because I figured if I set up a Calm Mind, I don't really want to have to take a Drop Kick. So yeah, I'm not gonna do that because Reflect wears out anyway. So here I actually decide to go into Scolipede, and I realized nothing really wanted to take a Moonblast. However, I figured if he stayed in the Sacket, then not only do I miss out on a potential setup or a potential sub opportunity with Scolipede, I also get trapped in by Magnezone because the threat of the Sash is very real, and I didn't want to lose my Diancie. So he goes into the Porygon here, and I'm gonna set up a sub again just to scout for what he has. He actually has the Psychic, so can't really do much with that. So I'm just gonna Baton Pass, or no, I can Protect here, and I think I go into the Excadrill here because I really did not have much to deal with this thing other than Buzzwole and basically Buzzwole and Diancie. So yeah, I'm gonna get the Spit F drop there, unfortunately. However, I'm gonna get my rocks up. And she goes for the Shadow Ball, which the Spit F drop was really unfortunate. So, but I'm just gonna get some damage off because now I can come in with Buzzwole and just click. I actually click the It's actually a bad play. I shouldn't have clicked All Out Pummeling. I should have just gone for the Superpower because Really, I clicked all about pummeling just in case the Charizard tried to switch in, but like I don't know why he would do that anyway. So that was probably a dumb play. But here I know that I max speed. However, I was not sure if this thing was scarfed or not because it didn't show an item. So I decided to go into Rotom here and just scout for that. I see it goes to the roof, so it reveals to be a more defensive spread. So I know that. So it goes into Porygon. I go for the Volt Switch because what else would I go for there? And now basically I'm gonna click the Superpower here. I decided he might risk the. I figured he might predict me to go for something else. So I actually calced Stone Edge and didn't kill, of course, there. So I just don't want to give this thing any chance of recovering back up. So yeah, I'm just gonna take it out with Superpower. Here he goes into Togekiss again, and I'm just gonna go right back into Rotom because Diancie here, and here I figured he was either here there's a good chance he was what's it called, the berry Charty Berry. I think it's Charty Berry that lowers the damage of super effective rock moves. So I was worried about that. He maybe had that because it didn't show an item or anything. So I'm just going to go into Rotom here, and he actually reveals the HP Steel. I figured that might have been a thing too, so thankfully I didn't leave Diancie in there. So here I'm going to go for the Volt Switch. He predicts that, goes to the Dugtrio. However, I figured, there's no way in hell he's staying in with the Dugtrio on Rotom, so I just go for the Volt Switch again, because I knew his Serena might come in, because it'll get a chance to Synthesis up. But I'm not having that at all. So I'm going to go into Sneasel here. I'm just going to click Knock Off and take that thing out. So he's basically stuck with rocks while he has a Togekiss and a Charizard that is not Mega Evolved yet, so a very, very good situation here. It goes in the Metagross here, and I didn't know if Knockout would kill, so it goes for the Bullet Punch. I lift that, actually, and I go for the counter, so I didn't really need the Sash, but the Metagross is down now. So here he goes into Charizard, and I figured my only play here was really to Ice Cold Crash and hope it either kills or I get the flinch. It doesn't kill, however, I do get the flinch. So I feel kind of bad about that one. It turns out he didn't have Roost, so Rotom beat it out anyway. But yeah, it's kind of unfortunate for him. So he goes into the Dugtrio, and he actually gets a bit lucky here. And he gets the roll, and the Dugtrio ends up lifting the Ice Shard. So yeah, he's actually going to take me out there because I would have just cleaned up the Sneasel here. However, the Aerial Ace does absolutely nothing with this thing, and I go for the Leech Life. And thankfully, my fears were not real, and the Stone Edge is just able to take out the Togekiss, and we win. So yeah, we won our first game against Beige. Nice little victory there. Buzzwole and Sneasel coming in clutch, and yeah, so my first battle of the NPL Minor Tournament was a success, and I'm gonna get to the other ones in the next part. So thank you so much for watching. Sorry if this was a bit of a boring video. I'm just trying to get back into recording here. So yeah, thanks again, and I will see you in the next battle from this pool play. And yeah, so goodbye.